Raptors fans, welcome back to Raptors Today, post All-Star edition. Nikhil Augustine, and we got some All-Stars in the building. We got Savannah Hamilton and Ashley Docking. And before we jump into it and just roast the NBA for what was, in my humble opinion, another disappointing All-Star weekend, we got to talk about it from a Raptors perspective. And when you talk about a Raptors perspective, an All-Star, you're talking about first-time All-Star, third-year player Scottie Barnes. Ashley Docking, what did you take away from Scottie's experience as the darling of All-Star Weekend, on a certain level, in my opinion?
I think that it's easy for fan bases to fall in love with their players because they see them all the time. You get up close and personal with them, and especially in a year with the Raptors where there's been so much turnover, there's like less and less to love, and I don't mean that as a slight to the players that we have left. There's just less familiarity. Absolutely. So the fan base is clinging to Scottie Barnes even more. So I think it's really nice for the world at large, the NBA world at large, to get a taste of what he's like, his personality, his endearing qualities. For some reason, there's always a moment with this guy of some kind, some way, shape, or form. Like, he gets it, and I think that it's going to be good for his stature, his profile, and honestly, maybe some endorsement deals in his pockets, which I love.
I see him all over my TV, but Sav, let's get your take.
Oh no, I think just to go back on what you said, like, I think it's a luxury to have him so close at home, with the Raptors. But when you see him at All-Star, he's like, shamelessly himself still. Yeah. And that does not change. He's very consistent in who he is and, what he represents and everything. And, we see him doing silly things. We see him doing and then turning up a notch and, okay, that's a star that we know. And so I think with Scottie, it's great to see him represent not just himself, but also the Toronto Raptors and where, they are in terms of talent. But yeah, I like seeing him on the stage and get his recognition because he deserves it.
Yeah, fun's a big word for Scottie. I mean, I remember last year they're like, "Where's the smile? Where's all that energy?" But he's definitely brought it back, and he's being a leader and learning to incorporate that playful style that he has with the seriousness that comes with being the face of a franchise. So as the face of the franchise moving forward, Savannah, you're there courtside, you're with the team. Let's talk about expectations for Scottie moving forward into the second half of a very important year for him, and even a more important second half, knowing that he's kind of the guy, he's the meter, he's the compass. Where's his team going?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and I was having a conversation on the radio about this a little bit, and I think this is the test of, are leaders born? Or can they be made? Yeah. And I think this is where Scottie's at with his career, because he's actually never, if you look back at all of his accolades, all of his career, he never had to be the guy of the team. He has always been surrounded by talent, even at Florida State, even at his prep school. Exactly, 6 men off the bench. Even at prep school, he's surrounded by so much talent there. So now you go and you say, okay, now you're in the NBA, the highest level of basketball in the world.
Absolutely.
And you got to be the guy.
Except during All-Star Weekend.
Except during All-Star Weekend. We'll get there. It's too soon. But I think so. The second half of the season, for me, I'm looking for leadership qualities of when he knows where to turn it on. Like, in terms of, don't just wait for the fourth quarter. If your team is in a dry spell, make sure you go get out there and go get a bucket. Insert yourself. I think that's what I'm looking for Scottie in the second half of the season, or I guess the last third, really.
Yeah.
One of the more difficult things about developing yourself into a leader is knowing when to focus on yourself and knowing when to focus on other people, because sometimes you can try and care about other people's success too much, and it actually magnifies your mistakes and your errors. And when you're in
there's expectations,
when you're in a position where you're going to be excuse me let me clear my throat. Yeah. When you're in a position where you're expected to be the leading bucket getter, where you're the energy guy, where you're now have to be the glue guy and now have to pick up other people, it's a lot on your plate. So how do you balance it? How do you juggle it? What takes precedent and when? That can be a problem, because if you're too busy looking to make up for other people's deficiencies here and there, it actually is going to make it look like you're the problem. Mm-hmm. And then that can open a whole other can of worms when it comes to your game and the confidence that you have.
Ooh, the balancing act that is leadership. Well, it's back to work for the Toronto Raptors for Scottie Barnes. We'll check in with Scottie back at practice.
Scottie, I know you were at All-Star Weekend the last couple of years, the Rising Star game, and you know a lot of these guys, but was the experience any different this year, sharing a locker room with some of those players, and were you able to pick anybody's brain?
Not really. I didn't really pick anybody's brain, but, it was just a fun experience, being around those guys. It's an elite group. But primarily it's just me enjoying the weekend, having fun, having some little communication with the guys, but it's just fun and regular talk.
What was the highlight for you?
being able to see my family, friends, and being able to enjoy the moment with them.
Obviously, you got back to work today with the Raptors. How important was it to have like an intense sort of hour-long practice and get everyone back on the same page?
I think we all know we got some new guys, and we haven't had that time to really implement the plan that we want to do together. So just adjusting some things and being able to work on it was very important for us. So I think it was a good practice to be able to implement that plan on things that they want from us and what they want us to go out there and do on the court.
Thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest videos and subscribe for more.
Trent answers back. Gary, sidestep, three, got it.